allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please, Kelly.
Mr. Hazelhurst.
Here.
Mr. Haverly.
Present.
Mr. Kinzer.
Here.
Mrs. Maxey. Here. Mr. Moon. Mr. Mulholland. Mr. Rudy.
Here. Would anybody like to make any changes to the agenda? If not, could I have a motion and a second,
I'll
please?
make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
We have a motion by Maxey and a second by Hazelhurst. Roll call, please, Kelly.
Mr. Hazelhurst.
Yes.
Mr. Haverly.
Yes.
Mr. Kinzer.
Yes.
Mrs. Maxey.
Yes.
Mr. Rudy.
Yes.
Having no audience to visitors, we'll move on to public hearing on the budget. Just a
Placeholder, if anybody would like to speak to us regarding the amendment to the budget.
All right. And the treasurer's report.
It's as presented. We did have about $3,500 worth of fraud checks this month. We caught them, we turned them into the bank. They're going to refund us the money back this in June. So they're taking care of it on their end to work with that. So I just want to give you guys a heads up that they have.
You guys know where that came from, or?
No, and it looked like they took one of our checks and put their name over, so I'm not sure how it got. And it wasn't our check, it was like a
Different thing on it,
lookalike.
it's fraudulent, yeah. I caught it
So
pretty quick.
the bank is working with us to make sure that we get that.
Which is kind of nice because some of the audit things that they suggested we have in place were in place to help catch some of that stuff.
Yeah, and that's how we caught it with some of those safeguards there. So.
Nice, thank you, Melissa. That brings us to the superintendent's report.
Yes, got a few things here. HMH came to our district office last week to train our K-5 teachers with the new teacher resources for math. Molly set it up. We had a great turnout. It was an opportunity for our teachers, almost all of our teachers were there. It was an opportunity for them to get the resources in the hands of training, and this was their request so that they could work on planning over the summer to walk into the school year ready to go. So it went very well. Just after we passed our school calendar, the state came back out and said that they would like to reverse and go back to the old calendar law. We're waiting for the ROE to come back with the actual word-by-word changes to make sure that everything is the exact same. So for the most part, our calendar is in place and in good shape. I'll just take whatever parameters that they come back with. I'll keep the board informed. If there's any big changes on days or something, I'll work with you, but I'll see really what it comes back with the number of days. They also went back into the hours of days that need to be in there to count as student attendance. So keep you posted on that. Manchester roof, we've got material there and be staged. We're still working with the company to get a final start date here shortly. So that we can get that off and rolling. The high school roof had a seam that came up in one of our most recent storms here. So we're working with the company that put that down, as well as the supply company, because our roof is still under warranty until 2023. So right now the seam is back down, sealed, covered with tires right now, but we're working with someone to hopefully not have that district expense, but hopefully falling under warranty. So. The last thing that I've got, don't forget to let Kelly know if you'd like to go to the conference. We've got a couple that are signed up, but conference stuff is out. And if you know now, it helps you get the hotel rooms that you want if you book early. So that's all I have. Any questions?
No questions? All right, moving on to committee reports. Policy committee.
We met right before the last board meeting. The policies are in this packet.
First reading tonight.
First reading tonight. A lot of them were just wording changes. And then the other ones we're keeping for sick leave, bereavement, leaves of absence. We're keeping our wording for that pertains to the contract, and so contractually the policy and the contract are the same. And yeah, so they're as presented here. And like I said, most of them weren't a lot of
No major changes.
No, and we kept our own wording as far as
Consistent
sick
practices,
days and,
yeah.
yeah, to stay consistent with the contract.
Any questions for Mary?
Can I assume this was your idea to take the policies and type the little thoughts into them?
I like the Cliff's Notes.
Yes, yeah, just anything that we didn't take right now, we discussed.
Awesome.
I like that.
Is that helpful?
Yeah, I think there's no version 2. All right. Business services.
Didn't meet, but Melissa and I will work with Tom and Ed. We did want to call one for July so that we can start talking about budget and budget proposal stuff for the August meeting, which is going to be on display. On display starting in the July meeting, approved at the August meeting. So, or wait a minute, I can 1 month too early. We present it to the board in July. Again in August
Yeah.
for display for approval in September, so we need the September. My apologies, I ramped it up too soon.
Let's get, if we're ready, we can do it.
Yeah. So, and we got a couple other smaller items that we just wanted to talk with the board about, make sure everybody's on the same page.
Okay. Any other questions about business services?
At that point in time, if we have the goals, will the goals maybe be applicable to that discussion?
Could be, yeah.
Okay. That's fine.
Especially if we needed to allocate resources.
That's okay.
Yep.
Good. Facilities and long-range planning?
Nothing there, and nothing with CIA
Okay.
until probably the start of the school year.
That brings us to the consent agenda. I need a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting, personnel, first reading of the policies, extracurricular positions for 2019-2020, moving of CES activity account, resolution of prevailing wages, approval of the treasurer's bond, renewal of workman's comp, property liability, auto umbrella insurance, and as well as the addition of special education TA for Manchester. Could I have a motion and a second, please?
I move to approve all of that.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please, Kelly.
Mr. Haverly?
Yes.
Mr. Kinzer?
Yes.
Mrs. Maxey?
Yes.
Mr. Rudy?
Yes.
Mr. Hazelworth?
Yes.
Motion passes. Brings us to unfinished business. Amendment of the budget.
We purposely spaced the meetings out this way so that we can have our budget amended if we needed to. Melissa's here with a little background on what we need to amend and looking for the board approval on it.
So a couple of funds that we amended, transportation was one fund that we amended because of the purchase of those extra buses that the board approved. So it went from $550,000 in the vehicle section to about $756,000 without that cost. And then our repair and maintenance, we went from about $50,000 to about $100,000. We had quite a few buses this year that we were trying to nurse along until we got our new buses. The other fund that we changed was Fund 30. That's our bond fund, our debt service. So we had the abatement that came through, that $300,000 abatement. I adjusted those funds to reflect that abatement that we approved with the levy. So those are the major areas that were changed for the budget. Any questions?
Thank you.
Can I have a motion and a second to approve the amendment to the budget?
Make a motion that we approve the amendment to the budget.
Second.
A motion and a second. Can roll call, please, Kelly.
Mr. Kinzer?
Yes.
Mrs. Maxey?
Yes.
Mr. Rudy?
Yes.
Mr. Hazelworth?
Yes.
Mr. Haverly?
Yes. Motion passes. Takes us to certified nurse.
Yes, as I've shared with the board before, to meet school code, that if we have a position open up within our nursing services, and the new school code says that if you do not have a certified nurse on your staff, that you need to post for a certified nurse. So I'm looking for the board to approve the job description that I put with it tonight, along with kind of some of those jobs responsibilities that I framed out there. This person would be now a person that's on the NBEA contract and under the supervision of the special ed director and also myself. So, but we'd use this person to help coordinate the nurses, communicate with them as well, communicate with us as the administration, but more importantly, The big role that this one takes on is the health portions of all IEP students and health reviews for students that are possibly becoming IEP students. So that's the big piece of the law there that we're looking to make sure that we're in compliance with.
Any questions for Mike? If not, can I have a motion in a second, please?
Make a motion to approve the job description and posting for certified nurse.
I'll second.
A motion and a second. Roll call, please, Kelly.
Mrs. Maxey?
Yes.
Mr. Rooney?
Yes.
Mr. Hazelhurst?
Yes.
Mr. Haverly?
Yes.
Mr. Kinzer?
Yes.
Motion passes. That brings us to board goals. Mike and I had a meeting last week to discuss the board goals, pulling together all the information that the various stakeholders had discussed. And as happened at almost every meeting, we ended up discussing what a goal is. And so I think in the end, what we decided, if you think about this, the school improvement plans are things that the principals are going to do and take care of for that year. And of course, they have Mike's blessing, and in a way, he has to support that, even though that's not his goal.
Which is usually district coordinated too.
Right. So we got to thinking about, like, the principals have their goals, and when we started talking about potential board goals for us, I was thinking about how will we put those on his evaluation, which we usually do. And so I went ahead and had a presidential moment, and I thought maybe you guys would allow us the opportunity to let him set his goals that will go on his evaluation. And he's, of course, looking over the principles. And we came up with about a list of 5 or 6 that I wanted to get out to you folks to think about for the next month, and then we will discuss them at the next meeting. And what my thinking was, as you guys have heard me say a million times, that these should be, wait a second, take this out a little bit. That these will be larger projects that the board will plan to support either financially or theoretically. The sorts of big, unique, long-range, expensive, far-reaching projects that we will either commit to or the board will sort of pass on. Because we started talking about...
Could be even to investigate too.
Right, yeah, some of those are to investigate. We began thinking about, just for example, AP scores. Should we take that on as a goal again, which we did last year? And then we got to talking, and regardless of whether or not we as a board take that on, Jake is looking at that, you're looking at that.
Yeah,
So
I felt like there was, as we discussed it, there was a lot of things, no matter what the board decided to take on, because of what we've invested in, the professional development, even the plans, the communication, the coordination that we've had, such as science standards. We know we still got to implement those. The math standards, the implementation of the math standards, and then the new resources. I put down that we now need to look to begin the review cycle for ELA. We've talked about creating pathways and careers that align for our high school kids with some of the new certifications that come out under ESSA. Also, too, I'd still say we need to continue to look at AP success and SAT success, improvement on math, improvement on ELA. The other thing that I put in there is now that we've got Allison in place, her and I have had conversations about making our electives flow from middle school to high school, so that those almost walk into career paths or possible career paths 7 through 12 for our kids flowing to the high school. The other thing that no matter what, the board those things are still in my face, no matter what. Along with social emotional learning, that one was one that came up repeatedly over and over and over. We need to find some ways to address some of that, some of those issues that we're seeing within the classrooms and in the buildings. The other thing too, just from my standpoint of a goal that I was going to run back and keep with the board, was the technology. We've talked about how is technology supporting learning in the classroom, whether it's using it data, using instruction, how is it affecting instruction? I want to make that, Carrie Neary and I have talked about making that a fixture in front of the board for the years to come. We've invested in technology. I want the board to be able to see how we're using it and how we're effectively using it in the classroom. So to me, those are a lot of goals that no matter what I do, I just see that it's got to be in front of me for this upcoming school year. And I can trim it down to a few, but no matter what, my discussion with administrations and even when we set some of their school program goals, those are pieces that are just going to have to be there for us to be a successful school district, guys.
And as I said, we sort of ended up having that conversation again, like, well, should AP scores, should we leave all of them from the past? And I think we'll do that every time we have a meeting. It seems like we do that every time we have a meeting. So I thought maybe you would test this out this year of us looking at him putting his goals on evaluation and us committing to investigating or financially supporting or whatever it takes some of those different projects.
Almost like a larger board goal.
Right. Right, and I wanted to give you the entire month to look at the potential list, discuss, well, of course we can't discuss it in detail, but to mull that over, investigate a little bit so that we felt confident we're making a good decision when we finally set those. And he will be pulling together his to go on his evaluation also.
And the other thing that we saw was there seemed to be some common loops, whether it was from your teacher meetings, from strategic planning, from our admin board meeting with our members that night. There was some common loops, so we kind of pulled some of those through some of that. And then put, no matter what, these are what things that Mike's going to have to focus on. And then is there an overarching thing, maybe just a thing or two that the board wants to say, we need to look at this for this upcoming school year. If that makes sense.
Does that plan work for everybody?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So we'll add that to the agenda item for July.
For July.
And I will bring
Finalize
my
those.
goals for July.
And you'll want to remember to incorporate whatever comes out of that into the budget discussion in case there needs to be specific budgetary issues that relate to our goals.
I won't be able to do that with the board, with mine, but kind of already there.
Yep. All right. That brings us to new business, the 2019 bills.
I'll look them over. Yeah, looks good.
Make a motion in a second.
Make a motion to approve the bills as presented.
Second.
Motion in a second. Roll call, please, Kelly.
Mr. Rudy?
Yes.
Mr. Hazelhurst?
Yes.
Mr. Haverly?
Yes.
Mr. Kinzer?
Yes.
Mrs. Maxey?
Yes.
Motion passes. Brings us to the approval of the student handbook.
Yes, each year we ask the board to approve that. That really falls under one of our policies. With all of our student handbook and our discipline and everything, that falls under one of our policies as approving this. So I had Heather kind of put together some of the, I believe yours of the handbook, and then the bullets of what was changed. If you look at our handbook has been reviewed by IPA, the Illinois Principals Association, through their legal to make sure that we're in compliance with legal, Senate Bill 100 and all that other stuff. And then we review the discipline code each year. We have the health side reviewed by Mrs. Sager, and any other little tweaks or adjustments, as you can see the calendar thing, is TBD because of the fun we're having with the state. But any of those tweaks really are about attendance, discipline, health, to make sure that we meet the practices and the policies that are required by us. So they were small this year, real small.
Any questions for Mike?
No, thank you again for the bullet points.
Yeah, hopefully that helped a little bit further, because it's over 100 pages in one at this point.
Make a motion to approve the student handbook as presented.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor of the approval of the student handbook, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion passes. That brings us to executive session. Where am I at?
Don't say anything.
To discuss the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee of the public body or against legal counsel for the public body to determine its validity, as well as collective negotiations between the public body and its employees or their representatives, or deliberations concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employees. Can I have a motion and a second, please?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Sorry, roll call.
Mr. Hazelworth?
Yes.
Mr. Haverly?
Yes.
Mr. Kinzer?
Yes.
Mrs. Maxey?
Yes.
Mr. Rudy?
Yes.
We'll be out in just a couple minutes. Sure.
I was just there.
We need a motion and a second to leave executive session, right?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to return to open session.
Second.
Next, Ian Kinzer, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion passes. We're back in regular session. Do we have any recommendations, Mary?
I make a motion to approve for 2019-2020 contract as presented for Ala Jarkman, physical therapist.
Do we have a motion and a second?
Second.
That's the motion.
Yes. Roll call, please, Kelly.
Mr. Kinzer?
Yes.
Mrs. Maxey?
Yes.
Mr. Rudy?
Yes.
Mr. Hazelworth?
Yes.
Mr. Haverly?
Yes.
Okay.
Motion passes.
Make a motion to approve the 2019-2020 contract as presented for Sarah Prager, occupational therapist.
Motion, do we have a second?
A second.
Motion and a second. Roll call, please, Kelly.
Mrs. Maxey?
Yes.
Mr. Rudy?
Yes.
Mr. Hazelworth?
Yes.
Mr. Haverly?
Yes.
Mr. Kinzer?
Yes.
I make a motion to approve wage increases for non-bargaining certified and non-certified as amended.
Previous motion passed, by the way. Technically supposed to say that. We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please, Kelly.
Mr. Rudy?
Yes.
Mr. Hazelworth?
Yes.
Mr. Haverly?
Yes.
Mr. Kinzer?
Yes.
Mrs. Maxey?
Yes.
Motion passes.
And make a motion to approve wage increases for transportation as presented.
Motion, do we have a second?
Oh, you don't count.
Okay, a motion and a second. Roll call, please, Kelly.
Mr. Hazelworth?
Yes.
Mr. Haverly?
Yes.
Mr. Kinzer?
Yes.
Mrs. Maxey?
Yes.
Mr. Rudy?
Yes.
Motion passes. So did the previous one, if I didn't say that either. Is that it, Mary?
That's it. I make a motion, we adjourn.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thanks, folks. Have a good
Do
evening.
not leave, don't forget to sign